I wanted to share with you some exciting news. I just received my order from Art to Basic, and there's something very special in this box. I'm going to show you it. It is a handmade watercolor, and guess who helped make this watercolor? I did. I know, it was so fun. So they were looking for artists to develop a line of pinks, and I was one of the artists chosen. And this color here is pink clay, which is my own color. Look how beautiful it is. So I got to pick the pigments, and then we spent time mixing together and adjusting over Zoom. It was quite a beautiful session. Getting to know one another while creating paint and adding colors and pigments. It was just amazing. So let me show you the other pinks while I carefully put this pink away. These are the pinks that I received. So they are called the American Spirit. They are these 6 here. And then I got an extra one. So that was fun. This one is called Tickled Pink. I love the names. We all got to choose our names as well. And I want to show you what I did with the pinks. I did all 7 of the pinks. So here is the line. So there is all the pinks together. So let me block that off and block that off. And you can see there's some beautiful pinks in there. Mine is this row here. And I love that I'm very different, right? I was looking for earthy, I was looking for granulating and muted coloration. And I actually love the way that it turned out. It has a little bit of shine to it. I don't know if you can see that in there. It's just a little bit of shine. Do you see that? A little bit of glint. So that was really different for me, but I just totally loved it. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to play with 6 of the pinks, and then we're going to mix them with some common colors, because I want to make sure that if you're looking at pinks, you understand what else they can do besides just look beautiful as pinks. But I don't know if you're like me or if you're like you and you use pink all the time. I really don't use pink all the time, but this might surprise you. I really liked playing with this high voltage pink, which is this one here. Now this is mine and this is that one. But what I like about this is the intensity, and I want to see how that mixes with other colors. I want to see how mine mixes, and I want to see some of these other ones as well. So let's get mixing. First, we're going to do a basic color swatch in the box here, just so we can see the full strength color. And then we will start swatching and mixing the other colors. The colors that I've picked are Buff Titanium and Neutral Tint. I tried to get a light and a dark. I know the neutral tint is going to make probably a lot of purples, but that's a color that I think is underutilized a lot, and I like to add the violets with greens and oranges to tone them down. So I think that exploring these colors will be really fun. Of course, Buff Titanium, I'm hoping that it mutes them down so that I can use them in other things. Besides the fabulous color hue they are, I need to make sure that I can put them in nature somehow so that they don't stand out. So let's start swatching. The first color we're going to do is this Knockout Rose. It's a lovely color. I gotta remember to keep my hand out of there. Let me turn it this way. That way you can see the swatch as well. The first color is by my friend Ray Missigman. You might see her here on YouTube. Art to Basic asked for 12 designers to help in the pink developing team, or 12 artists, and they got 6 from the US and 6 from Europe, which I thought was really fun. So they've got it kind of broken down into the American Spirit, I think is the American artist, and I think it's European Essence for the European line. And I like that we were able to purchase both, and then they've got them as a set too if you want to do that. I do want to splash these because I want to see how they work. You know me and my splashing. The next one is Raspberry Pink. I really like the tone of this one with the little deeper red here. This one is very much what I think of for pink, more of an opera kind of pink. And this one I was surprised by the coloration. And I like when colors surprise me. It gets me thinking like, well, how can I use this? What can I use it in? And I was very impressed with the mixes of both of these with the other colors that I had on my palette. So I'm hoping that they come out with the ones that I chose today to mix with. Splash. The next one is High Voltage. That's the High Voltage pink. That's this fluorescent one. Wait till you see how bright it is. Look at that. I think it's fun that you can see all of our personalities in the pinks. At least I like to think you can. This is my friend Christie's, and she is this high octane. She is always moving, and I love her art so much. I'm getting towards the end of my book, so I have to stick something under it so it can be lifted up. Okay, the next one is me, Pink Clay. And I get to be next to Christie's Brightness here. What I asked for in my color was for it to be muted, for it to have some granulation, and we added a little bit of sparkle. The next one is called Courage. And think of it as a really earthy mauve. That's what I thought whenever I first used it. Isn't that beautiful? I love how it's reacting with water so far. Do you see them? Just little splashes. And the last pink is Tickled Pink. This was number 13 of the bunch. This is by my friend Kristen. I love the softness of this color. So those are the pinks that we're going to explore. Do you have a favorite already? I know, they're so different, aren't they? I mean, just take a look at that. This side we've got a little more muted, this side's a little more bright, but I can see uses for both of them. And I think that that's part of having 13 designers. It's amazing that you get such a wide variety. I'm going to switch to my flat brush. I'm going to be using a number 10 snap flat shader, just a number 10. That way I can drag the lines, and just like I've been doing in my 100-day project. And I've never used pans to mix before, so hopefully this will work out good. So this is the Knockout Rose. I'm going to show you this side so that you'll be able to see the color being mixed. I'm going to start with Antique White. So I need to make a nice little puddle here. Then I'm going to slowly add the pink. Slowly. Just looking for a little bit of change here. What a pretty color. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some pink here of the Knockout Rose. Pretty nice puddle, because then I'm going to add the neutral tint to that. And let's see what kind of cool color we can get. I think we're going to get a really nice purple. That's what I'm thinking anyways. And just touch in a neutral tint a little bit. I decided to pour out a little bit of neutral tint, just be easier for me to grab just the tiniest of bit. Oh yeah, look at that color. Wow, I like the darkness of that. And then I'm going to do neutral tint just by itself. Now, if you don't have a neutral tint, you could use Payne's Gray, you could use indigo, a sepia would look great, a dark gray would look wonderful. If you're looking for purples, you can add a blue. So don't let my colors, not let you participate in this. So the next one is Raspberry Pink. Again, I'm gonna get some buff titanium here. Get some out on the palette. Then we're going to slowly mix the raspberry pink. And you're right, I forgot to splash all these. Hopefully I can lift some up. We'll check it out. Gonna let it sit just a second, and then I will try lifting. Ooh, look at that color with the raspberry ice. That looks beautiful. Raspberry pink, sorry about that. Wow, that's pretty. Okay, let's see if we can lift any of these. Yes, they lifted nice. The dark ones didn't lift as nice. Let's see if we can let that set just a little bit longer. What a lovely tone with that buff titanium. That's better. Just had to let it set longer. Now we're going to do the neutral tint with the raspberry. Get a nice puddle of that here so we know it's straight tone. Let's start adding our neutral tint. Oh wow, did you see that change? Look at that. Beautiful. A little more neutral. Look at that beautiful. It's like a maroon color. Wow, that's pretty. Now, as you're watching these mixes come to life, I also think you should be asking yourself, like, what would you paint with that? You know, right now I'm looking at these colors and they would be beautiful for apples, strawberries, cherries, because of the red tone in it instead of a pinkish tone. Look at the difference. This is what gets me excited about having just a straight color of pink. I mean, think about the range of pinks. You can see a lot of them here, plus there's so many more. And I think when you start mixing it with colors that you already own, I think that's when your palette changes, your ideas change, because you start to see different possibilities for yourself in these colors. It's not just, I need to just use a pink straightforward. Now you've got all these choices on what you can use them for. And that's why I wanted to share the mixing with you, because I think it's really nice to see that. We don't always take the time to do that, but for me it is so important to do that exercise. See, I need a little more water and a little more paint here. Okay, now we're going to this high voltage pink. This is going to be a fun one. Getting a little bit over here on my palette. Start mixing a little with that buff titanium. I need a little more buff to that. It's really pretty already. Now, were you thinking you'd get such soft tones? I know, not really, right? Because of the intensity of the color. It's getting a little brighter now. I really like this color. I'm going to go with a little more of this in the buff here, just so I could change that last one and make it a little brighter. That's better. I wanted to see a little more value there. Isn't that intensity amazing? I really like that color. Which is odd for me. You guys know me, I like the more muted stuff, but I'm liking that a lot. Let's add a little of the neutral tint. Look at that color. Now that's a pretty purple. It's different, right? Because of that intensity. All right, I'm going to bring these three up just so you can see already real close. Look at those beautiful colors. Now this line here is the straight pinks, and then we've got the indigo color, and then we've got the buff titanium. I think they're lovely. Now we get to play with pink clay, my color. I'm excited about that. So let's get some antique white on here. I was hoping for a nice skin tone when I did my coloration. It's beautiful. I'm gonna go to straight clay for mine. It's so lovely. All right, we're gonna add some neutral now. And I'm hoping it gets to a grayish blue coloration. That's a beautiful color. Very earthy. I'm going to go to the neutral tint. Look at that. I like those tones a lot. I can definitely see it as mountains to land. So think of just brown, maybe land, trees. Beautiful mushroom colors in there. I was just out looking for mushrooms today, so that's why mushrooms are on my brain here. Okay, the next color we're going to do is called Courage. Get a little more water on my brush there. And look, I was so excited about my color, I forgot to splash it, you guys. Thanks for the reminder. I'll have to lift that with paper towel. Oh yeah, I'm gonna like this. This is gonna be some pretty skin tones here. Okay, now I need to try this color by itself. And then we're going to add some indigo and see what beautiful colors we make here. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to grab a little neutral tint. I grabbed too much, as you can see. That's better. Let's change that one just a little bit bluer. That's better. I love all the different tones purples these are making. Okay, mine was the dry one, so I'm going to try to blot that. There we go. There we go. Okay, our last color is Tickled Pink. It's such a soft color, so let's see what happens with this. Oh, look at that color. Didn't see enough shift. I'm going to add pink over that again. Much better. Okay, I need a pile of this pink here that we can add our neutral tint to. I'm going to have to be very careful adding this one. It's a very light color. Oh, I love that one. Look at that. I think because of this pink, the lightness, it's given us some really beautiful colors here. Just neutral tint by itself now. Look at these colors. Aren't they gorgeous? I'm going to dry these, label them, and then I'll be back. It's dried and I've labeled everything. So this row was Knockout Rose. This row was Raspberry Pink. This row was High Voltage Pink. This row was Pink Clay. This row was Courage. And this row is Tickled Pink. And I'm going to bring you up closer so you can see that the top row was Buff Titanium and the bottom was Neutral Tint. They kind of mixed that way. So let me bring them up so you can see them. Gorgeous colors, right? Look at all those metal colors, just so lovely. Then we've got the other page. More subtle colors, but to me just as lovely. I really love these colors here, these more maroony colors. Those are pretty. I love these colors, the intense purple with the pink undertone. That's really cool, especially this one here where that hot pink is just sitting there really staring at us. I like that. I love the lavenders over here that were made with tickled pink, and I love the bright purples over here with knockout rose. Those are really nice. This almost maroony color could lend itself very well to browns. Think of like doing a barn or some rocks with those kind of tones in there. I think that would be really lovely. These tones as well. When I think about colors and I can assign something to do with them, they stick with me a little longer. So I will be like, what did I think about those rock colors? What was that? You know, and I'll automatically go there and I'll remember neutral tint and courage. So it's just something that helps me think about colors differently. Yes, mixing them like this is a great way to test values and test intensities and stuff like that. But if I can actually come up with what I would paint with those, it helps me remember them a lot longer. Like this whole row, like I said before, the strawberries, the apples, really good coloration. This mushrooms and lichen, I could just definitely see that barks on a tree. This would be good for all possibilities. Even these colors and these for the bark of the tree would look really kind of nice. I like the neutral roll going all the way across for skin tones. So think about from probably here to here, all the way across is great skin tone colors. You wouldn't think that adding pink to a neutral color like buff or to neutral tint that you would get nice skin tone colors, but you really do because they're muted enough that you can put them in any skin color, and I think that it would turn out really beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed watching these pinks come to light in a different way, and I hope it's opened up your mind to what would you do with these pinks. If you were inspired by today, which I hope you were, please like, comment, or subscribe. It really helps my channel. And if you want to leave me a comment, I would love to know what your favorite mix was and how you would use it. Thanks for being here, and thanks for watching.